Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing a Murderer, and today we're going to go over the update attached to the Carlee Russell case. This is a young girl, early 20s, said she saw a toddler walking on the side of the highway in Hoover, Alabama, off the highway. And let me tell you, there is video footage of her driving up that highway, July 13th, 2023, and putting her flashers on, stopping the car at a certain area, getting out of her car, and walking around quickly from the driver's side to the back of the car to the other side of the car, where she opens the door and it spends at least, I counted, 28 seconds or more. Now, what's funny about that is the fact that she's supposed to be with a toddler during that time, or looking for a toddler. At least that's what the phone audio says to the 911 dispatcher. She looks like she's a little bit heavier once she leaves and closes the door, goes to the front of the vehicle, and then you see her disappear into the wooded area there. Now, this girl has guts, because let's say it is a hoax, okay? And she's making all this up, which police seem to think. Y'all, it's dark time right now. She's got to get out of that car. You can see right now she's in the passenger side, digging through her car. She's got to climb up that dark hill by herself. I don't know where this area leads to. Haven't had time to look, but I can guarantee you there's going to be at least some portion of this that's going to be just dark and eerie. But anyway, something I would expect a girl her age would have the balls to do. They say she's able to escape these guys and walk on foot back to a relative's house, where she knocks on the door and surprises the relatives. So the first 5 days, we really don't know anything what happened. The police do not say anything. They don't look for an abductor. That was strange. They don't have any sketches. They have no need for assistance from the public to find any kind of vehicle. Immediately kind of tells you, the police are thinking, well, this might not be an abduction. We better look closer into this. So police were not sharing anything, and they were doing it out of respect for her, hoping probably that she would come forward and be truthful. Police were trying their best not to embarrass her, but guess what? If she doesn't come forward, well, you got the public wondering what's going on. And should they be scared that there's somebody out there abducting people? So she doesn't come forward, so they had no choice but to address the public with what they found out so far. I'm sure they were hoping they wouldn't have to do this. Okay, first let's talk about what she said happened during that 49-hour period that she was abducted. Carlee said that when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, which we didn't see, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. Okay, that makes no sense. At that point, the man picks her up, okay, and she screams. So her phone will not line up with that too well, I'm pretty sure, because I'm sure she didn't think that we would see this video that we're seeing right now. After closely inspecting this, there's only one person there that actually gained weight, which is probably she's toting some kind of bag. Now this guy, after picking her up, now remind you that there's a hill here. She claimed he then forced her into a car. The next thing she remembers is she was inside a 18-wheeler, its trailer. Now this guy with orange red hair and bald in the middle wasn't there alone. She says inside this trailer was a female that she didn't lay eyes on. She told detectives that she could hear a baby crying. Guys, have you ever been inside an 18-wheeler and their trailer? Well, there's no room to not see someone. At some point, she's able to escape her captors and fled on foot, only to be captured again and put into a car. At that point, she's blindfolded. She wasn't tied up. because the captors said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrist. Okay, well, that's the weirdest information I've ever heard. So the captors are going to tell her why they're not going to bound her. At some point, Carlee's taken into a house and they make her get undressed, also taking photos of her. She says she doesn't remember them making any kind of inappropriate advances at her. Then at some point, Carlee claims that she was put back in a vehicle. And again, she was able to escape. This was in the West Hoover area. And so police shared this when they addressed the public yesterday. Police began sharing some information they uncovered before she goes missing. And this information raises some major red flags. You could tell the police were shamed and angry at the same time. What they're trying to do is account for every hour that she went missing at this point. They also tried to ask her more questions, but she refuses to call them back. What was interesting is she chose to pick a white toddler and a white couple to be her abductors if this is a hoax. And I've heard several times already that they're comparing this to the Smollett case, which I don't know much about. Another problem police found was while she was on the phone, she claims that she's following a toddler, but she's nearly 600 yards from the place she stopped where the toddler might be, saying that she had her eye on this toddler. This data actually come from her phone. So they got this data from the recovered phone that belonged to Russell. Now remember, she's upset her entire family, her own parents, her brother. They're all worried about this young lady. They think something bad has happened to her. And when she comes home, it's hard for them not to believe the person that they trust most. Why, after all, would her daughter do this to them and risk ruining their reputation? A lot of people suspect that if Russell had planned this, that she really hadn't thought it out that well. You got to remember, watching that video, when Russell finally disappears, it's only a matter of minutes before the police are there. So she had to see the blue lights. I always say that. The police discover her wig, her purse, her Apple Watch, which was in her purse, the food she picked up for her mother, which is a chicken roll-up, which sounds delicious. I'm starving right now, guys. And they find her phone not too far from the car. But guess what police said they discovered yesterday? They said that they discovered that she had purchased or stopped by Target before she seen this toddler and pulled over, and she had bought some snacks. They searched for these snacks inside the car and outside the car, around the car, but there's no sign of these snacks. But, you know, that doesn't sound right, and police have every right to question that. I can tell that the police are trying to be as gentle with her as they can, but they're losing their patience because they've given her clues that they know most likely they don't believe her story. They've shared some searches, but they're not sharing all the searches for her to respect her. Even after if this was false, let's think about it. If this was a hoax, this would probably be one of the most selfish acts ever. And let me tell you, this was not a cheap effort. This took a lot of love, a lot of time. It took a lot from a lot of people, resources, money, time. So let's go over a few of those searches. So what we're hearing is she left work with a robe, toilet paper, and it was concealed. She took a 600-yard car ride while on the phone with 911, supposedly following a toddler. Online, she recently searched for terms including how much does it cost for Amber Alerts, basically. She searched for a movie, an abduction movie, by the way, called Taken. Actually, let me just play some of the audio for you from yesterday's update and news conference on Carlee Russell. Interestingly, they also play her 911 call, which we all got to hear. So I'm debating whether to play that or not. I think I'm just going to play it. Here we go.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there's just a kid just walking by themselves. Hold on. Where on 49 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Med, like to get off by the Hoover Med. Okay, so you're before that exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? Or how old do they look? Like a toddler, maybe 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes Benz. Is that a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it a male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay. So is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No cars anywhere. Okay. Alright, what's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the shop from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. I want you to lose track of them. Okay. Alright, and do they have shoes on? No. Not that I can see. I can't really see that well. Okay. Alright, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight. 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother, stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point and search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover Police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 center receives a call from Carlee residents stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby.
So here's the part where they say they even have Secret Service helping them look into her online history, her phone history, search history. Here you go.
On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term "you have to pay for an Amber Alert" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term "how to take money from a register without being caught" was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term "Birmingham bus station" was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
So it seems that something suddenly made her want to disappear. And you have to wonder, it must have been something that she either, one, was afraid for her parents to find out. Two, she might want to escape for a while. Three, she wanted attention. Four, there are different types of attention she could have been seeking, whether it was to make sure her parents would continue to love her, a distraction from something she did to disappoint them. Maybe she felt like she was stuck and couldn't find another way out. No matter the case, it seems to me the fact that she was searching Amber Alerts and this abduction movie, she's thinking of it as in a more glamorous way, which would be very, very disappointing. And even more concerning, what if police seen a 18-wheeler guy with orange hair with a bald spot in the middle with a woman who had a toddler? Imagine what their lives could have been. Imagine there was someone that didn't catch the media like Carlee did, that needed that attention to really find someone who was in danger or abducted or missing. What did people have to say about this as they start to discover this might be an elaborate hoax that she put together last minute, early in the morning, July 13th? This is something she must have been thinking about all day long if this is a hoax. Then you have the fact that she's searching for a bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville. So what would be in Nashville of interest to her? This is something her family might know or police by now. But she obviously couldn't do that because you know why? You would have to most likely use your ID to get a bus ticket. So I'm sure police are going to start looking at video cams at the bus stations nearby. So actually, let me take some of this back. It was actually July 11th that she starts kind of looking into the fact, she's interested in these things like Amber Alerts. Another interesting fact is while she's at work, she's thinking, I'm going to take money from the register. That's what she's typing into her search. This is what she's interested in without getting caught. Now, they found a lump sum just over $100 in her sock when she returned home. Now, around 12 p.m., she searched for the movie Taken. So was this during her lunch? And here's where things kind of become more clear for the officers. They discover on her work computer that she's searching up more information about Amber Alerts. So this is just hours before she goes missing. Now, they mentioned something about her mindset and other searches that they're not going to release because they're trying to protect her to an extent. It does sound like the police are not happy with what they're dealing with and they're sad that it's come to this, but for some reason they're having trouble trying to get it done with and over with as quick as possible because she's not speaking to them. And here was the most important message to basically everyone that was worried about Carlee.
As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
So as of right now, police do have enough information here to most likely make an arrest, but they haven't. Or at least to take her in and force her to answer questions until she asks for a lawyer. Because they do have evidence enough that she took items away from her workplace. That is enough to take her in and ask her questions. If this is a hoax, this is unacceptable and should be used as an example to send out to other people that when you do things like this is what you have to face. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, how they handle this once they do fill in the rest of those hours, the full 49 hours. And my opinion on this is I feel bad for her, but I don't care what she's going through. She's an adult. She knows right from wrong. Listening to her on the phone, you could tell that she was in her right frame of mind. And the resources that she used up, which are hard to get if you follow these cases, you are to see some of the stuff. A lot of people, they can't get these type of resources because they cost so much. That in itself is the biggest crime. How hard should she be punished? I don't know. I don't know the full story. We don't even know if it's 100% a hoax. But based on what we know right now, it seems that that's most likely the case. And definitely they need to send a message strong and clear that if you do something like this, it's not going to come out good for you. If you're having trouble in life, here's a number that you can reach out and talk to someone. You don't do things like this. This is not a child. This is a grown adult in college. Anyways, share your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think I'm being too harsh? You're starting to wonder, was she failing in school and she was just trying to distract that situation, run away from it. And boy, a lot of people are saying that she probably didn't expect to get this much attention from this. And wow, did she? Well, I have done stories where girls don't come back. she at least come back, because something could have happened to her while trying to do whatever she was trying to do. Young ladies, this is not the correct way to handle a situation. There are other ways to get around difficult times in life without causing something like this. And these things don't last forever in your life. What seems like it's going to be the worst day of your life could be gone in just a week. Just an incredibly sad case, because I wish we could have used these resources right now for Jasmine Robinson, Dulce, Summer Wells, girls that are truly needing help. They are truly in a dire situation. We don't know where they're at. We don't know if they're okay. And we have no answers many years later. At least I hope the girl learns her lesson. She has to face civil penalties, if not anything else, because, we don't want to ruin someone's life because they're not able to think through just how devastating their immature actions take. I mean, we see young people do stupid things all the time. I think we've done stupid things in our lives. And we still don't know 100% yet if it is a hoax, as I say multiple times, but it just feels like it is, and it has from the beginning. And just glad she's home safe. Maybe Carlee can take this mistake she made and turn it into a positive by raising awareness for people like Jasmine Robinson and Dulce, Aisha Degree, Summer Wells, Donita, Kira Coles. Lately, my views are barely hitting over 300, so, that's the best I can do. So, anyways, guys, I'm wishing that family luck. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, comment your thoughts below. See you guys soon.
Really want to go. Hi, Daddy.
You were supposed to call me when you land.
Same here.
What?
Oh my God, they got Amanda. They're coming.
All right, listen to me. Go into the next bedroom. Under the bed. Tell me when you're there. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. Good luck.